Hello everyone, this is Nitish and this is Plums Initiative, which is Prelims Level Up MCQ series. Here we discuss 5 MCQs daily and this will help you in your UPSC preparation. Today is episode number 284 and I am dealing with economics MCQ. But before starting this class, I would like you to please subscribe the channel and also like and comment on videos. These contents are free of cost, so for test series and foundation video, you can contact to Vysh sir on WhatsApp 7200 681 675. So let's begin. Today's MCQ number 1 is consider the following statement regarding follow on public offer, that is FPO. A follow on public offer is an additional issuance of shares to investors by a company listed on the stock exchange. Statement B. Statement 2. It is made by a company after the initial public offering. Companies usually announce FPOs to raise equity or reduce debt. So, how many of the above statements are correct? Only one, only two, all three, none of the above. So, I will give you 10 seconds. Try to answer this question. Those who want more time, they can pause the video and answer the question. So, its correct answer will be option number C, that is, all the above statements are correct, that is, all three. Now, let's look at the explanation. A follow-on public offer, also known as secondary offering, is an additional issuance of shares after the initial public offering. Companies usually announce FPO to raise equity or reduce debt. The two main types of FPO are dilutive, meaning new shares are added, and non-dilutive, meaning existing private shares are sold publicly. Follow-on offering are also known as secondary offering, which is already mentioned in the above statement. I have put it second time because it is very important, because if sometimes it is written in the statement that which of the following is called, or which of the following term is called as second offering. So you can easily identify that the second offering is nothing but a follow on offering. And all these statements in the explanation is already mentioned in the question itself. So you can also make notes from the question. Now, MCQ number 2. Internationalization of rupee would mean accumulating Indian rupee as a reserve currency all over the world by the central bank, repaying in rupees for the bond issued globally, paying in rupees both for import and exports. So you have to identify how many of the above statements are correct. Only one, only two, all three, and none. I will give you 10 seconds. Try to answer this question. And if you want more time, then you can pause the video. So its correct answer will be option number C, that is all three. Internationalization of rupee means the following. Point number 1. Try to make notes because it is very important and it is already in the current affairs. When Indian imports, they should be able to pay in rupee. Sorry. When they export, which means when the Indians export, they should accept payment in rupees. When they issue bonds globally, they should be able to repay in rupee regardless of the fact that they borrowed in foreign currency. And the last is all over the world, individuals, companies, and central bank should accumulate Indian rupee as a reserve currency because of its global demand. And it is already mentioned in the statement. So all the above three statements are correct. MCQ number 3. Currently, the US dollar is said to enjoy an exorbitant privilege, which refers to the innumerable benefits that accrue to the US on account of all over other countries of the world using the US dollar as their currency is the most of their international transactions. The dollar's position is currently supported by which of the following factor? So you have to identify the factor. 1. Size of the US economy, reach of its trade and financial network, depth and liquidity of US financial market, history of macroeconomic stability, and fifth is currency convertibility. So, how many of the above statements are correct? This question is basically from the current affair. So, try to answer this question. Only two, only three, only four, and all five. I will give you 10 seconds. Try to answer this question. And if you want more time, then you can pause the video and answer the question. So its correct answer will be option number D, which means all the 5 are the factors, or the dollar position is currently supported by all the 5 factors. Now move to MCQ number 4. Consider the following statements. Generally, tightening of monetary policy by the US Federal Reserve leads to foreign portfolio investment sell-off in the Indian stock market. Lower value of Indian rupee against the dollar keeps import bill lower for India. Lower value of Indian rupee against the dollar is beneficial for travelers and students studying abroad. So, how many of the above options are correct? Or we can also say how many of the above statements are correct? Only one, only two, all three, none. I will give you 10 seconds. Try to answer this question. So its correct answer will be option number A, that is only one statement is correct. Now let's look at the explanation. Statement 2 and statement 3 are the incorrect one, and statement 1 is the correct statement. A lower rupee against the dollar keeps import bill higher. Higher inflation is detrimental to the overall market. If the rupee does not strengthen, FPI outflow will continue, which is another negative. A strong dollar is good for export-oriented companies, but bad for import-oriented industry such as oil, gas and chemicals. With the dip in the rupee, oil imports and other imported components will get costlier, which will further lead to higher inflation, which is the statement number 2 and the explanation of statement number 2. So on the basis of that explanation, we can say that the statement number 2 is the incorrect statement. Now look at the statement number 3, which is the last line of this paragraph, that is travelers and students studying abroad will have to sell out more rupees to buy dollars from the bank, which is in link with the statement number 2, which I mean to say that the explanation of statement number 2 and statement number 3 is linked together, and I try to explain with the help of that. Okay, and whatever I am teaching, I try to put in the content so that you can make a notes and it will be easy for you to revise further. Now, last MCQs of today's class. Consider the following statements. As a mark of cooperative federalism, the GST Council shall, through a majority of 51% of the weighted votes, decide on all matters pertaining to GST and recommend such decisions to the union and state governments. Statement 2. The recommendation of GST councils are binding on union and the state government. So you have to identify the correct statement. One only, two only, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. I will give you 10 seconds. Try to answer this question. So its correct answer will be option number D, which means neither of these statements are correct. The Supreme Court of India has ruled that the recommendations of the GST councils are not binding on either of the union or the state, which is statement number 1, and more explanation is required. Article 279A stipulates the creation of the GST council and its function. The council has to function as a platform to bring the union and the state government together and as a mark of cooperative federalism. The council shall unanimously or through a majority of 75% of weighted vote, but here it is mentioned statement number 1 is that 51% of the weighted vote, but it is not 51, it is 75% of the weighted vote, decide on all the matters pertaining to GST and recommend such decision to the union and the state government. So that's all for today's class. Hope you like the content and video. So next episode will be tomorrow. So please subscribe and stay